The wind moves across the desert. Footsteps echo through time. The story that changed the world is not over yet. The journey of Jesus and his followers continues, and every believer is waiting for what comes next. The Chosen has touched millions, drawing hearts closer to faith, hope, and truth. But with Season 6 on the horizon, one question burns brighter than ever. What will happen now? Will we witness moments that bring us to tears? Will we see the final steps that lead to the most powerful story ever told? This is not just another season. This is a moment that fans across the world have prayed for. A story that reminds us why faith endures, even when the world grows darker. The Chosen is not just a TV show. It's a movement. From the first season, it broke barriers and touched lives across every nation. It told the story of Jesus Christ in a way that felt real, human, and deeply emotional. Every scene, every word, carried a heartbeat of faith. Viewers didn't just watch the show. They felt part of the journey. In a world filled with noise, The Chosen stood out by whispering truth. It showed Jesus not as a distant figure, but as a man who laughed, cried, and walked among us. The disciples were not perfect. They were ordinary people with doubts and dreams, just like us. And that's why the show became so personal. It reminded everyone that even in our weakness, we are chosen for something greater. By the time Season 5 arrived, the audience had already walked through miracles, heartbreak, and transformation. From the Sermon on the Mount to the healing of the sick, each episode carried a message of compassion and courage. Fans wept, shared, and waited for more. And now, all eyes turned towards Season 6. The season that promises to bring the story closer to its most emotional chapter. But what makes The Chosen truly special isn't just the story. It's how it was made, built through faith, prayer, and the support of viewers worldwide. This series became the largest crowd-funded project in television history. Millions gave not for fame or reward, but because they believed this story needed to be told. They believed the world needed to see Jesus through the eyes of those who knew him best. As Season 6 draws near, fans know it's more than another chapter. It's a continuation of purpose. The creators have promised that the journey will take us deeper into the final days before the crucifixion, capturing moments of sorrow, strength, and salvation. For many, this will be the most emotional and spiritual season yet. So as the desert winds rise again, and the story unfolds once more, we remember, this is not just entertainment. It's a reminder of love that never fades, faith that never dies, and hope that always returns. The sun had set on Season 5, but its light still lingers in every heart that watched it. It was more than a continuation. It was a test of faith. Every step, every word, carried the weight of destiny. Jesus' followers were no longer simple fishermen or tax collectors. They had become witnesses to miracles, carriers of hope, and soldiers in a battle between doubt and belief. Season 5 began with quiet moments. A shared meal, a story, a look that said everything words could not. But as it unfolded, the tone grew heavier. The cost of following Jesus became clear. Crowds gathered, miracles multiplied, and yet, danger crept closer with every scene. The world around them began to change. Whispers of fear, threats from leaders, and tension that could be felt in the air like a storm before lightning. One by one, the disciples faced their own struggles. Peter wrestled with pride and fear. Matthew still carried the weight of his past. Mary searched for peace in a world that refused to forget her sins. And Thomas, torn between faith and loss, began to understand that love and suffering often walk hand in hand. Each character was a mirror to our own battles, our doubts, our hopes, our longing for answers. Through it all, Jesus stood calm. His presence was gentle yet powerful enough to shake the earth. Every miracle he performed reminded his followers that faith is not about understanding. It's about trusting. He healed the blind, calmed the storm, and spoke to hearts that had forgotten what peace felt like. And yet, even in his kindness, there was a shadow, a quiet knowledge of what was coming. Season 5 ended not with an ending, but a pause, a breath before something greater. The final scenes left millions in silence. The world around Jesus was closing in, the path ahead growing darker. Every viewer could feel it. The story was building toward something sacred, something painful, something eternal. And now the question remains: what lies ahead in Season 6? Will the followers of Christ be ready for the hardest test of all? Will faith stand when the world begins to fall apart? The Chosen has always shown us that miracles are not just found in the supernatural. They are born in courage, forgiveness, and love. And as we look ahead, we carry with us the lessons of Season 5. That following the light often means walking through the dark first. The story stands at the edge of history. The air is heavy, filled with questions that hearts are not ready to answer. Season 5 left us at the crossroads of faith and fear. And Season 6 begins right there, where hope and heartbreak meet. The followers of Jesus have seen the impossible. They've watched the blind see, the dead rise, and the sea obey his voice. Yet they can feel it. Something is changing. The crowds are growing louder, the threats are getting stronger, and every road seems to lead closer to Jerusalem, closer to the moment that will change everything. Season 6 is not just a continuation, it's a reckoning. The journey ahead will test every soul that walks beside him. This is the season where faith will be shaken, friendships will be tested, and truth will demand sacrifice. The laughter of past seasons fades into silence. The calm before the storm is here. The creators have hinted that this season will explore the most emotional chapters of Jesus' earthly life, his final days of ministry, the growing tension with leaders, and the moments that prepare both him and his followers for what's coming. But this won't just be about pain. It will be about purpose, about love that stands even when the world turns away. The disciples, once full of wonder and excitement, now face confusion and fear. They don't yet understand that every step they take is part of a greater plan. Peter's heart is torn between loyalty and fear. Judas walks a road that no one else can see. Mary feels the weight of something she cannot name. And Jesus, though surrounded by friends, begins to walk a path that only he can complete. The tone of Season 6 will be heavier, more reflective, and deeply human. The miracles will continue, but so will the misunderstandings. The hope will shine, but so will the shadows. It's the part of the story where faith becomes more than belief. It becomes endurance. Every season of The Chosen has shown us the light of Christ. But in this one, we may see how that light shines brightest in the darkness. The storytelling will go deeper. The emotions roar, and the message more powerful than ever before. So as we wait for Season 6 to arrive, one thing is certain. This is where everything changes. The journey that began by the Sea of Galilee now moves toward the heart of destiny. The disciples don't know it yet, but they are walking toward a moment that will shake heaven and earth forever. The trailer begins not with words, but with silence. A silence that feels alive, heavy, sacred, and filled with the weight of what's to come. The first image appears, a dusty road under a crimson sky. Footsteps echo softly, and then his voice, calm yet trembling with purpose, breaks the quiet. In that single moment, we know this season will not be like the others. Every frame of The Chosen Season 6 trailer speaks in whispers. A glance between disciples, a crowd pressing in, a tear that falls without a sound. The scenes move like memories, fragments of love and fear intertwined. There are moments of light, flashes of laughter around a fire, but they fade quickly into the tension of what's coming. One scene stands out. Jesus walking alone, the wind pulling at his robe, the world around him fading to stillness. It's not just an image of solitude, it's a reflection of destiny. The closer he walks toward Jerusalem, the further he walks from the world's understanding. The music behind the scene rises, slow, aching, like a heartbeat caught between hope and sorrow. Then come the faces. Peter, eyes burning with guilt and confusion. Mary, silent but strong. Matthew, watching from a distance, torn between fear and faith. And Judas, his expression unreadable, lost between belief and betrayal. The trailer doesn't explain. It doesn't need to. Every second pulls us closer to a truth we already know but still fear to face. The pacing quickens. A storm brews. A temple door slams. Soldiers march in rhythm with the pounding drums. And through it all, Jesus remains calm, his eyes filled with peace. The kind of peace that only comes from knowing the cost of love. One haunting line cuts through the chaos. His voice, steady and sure. The time has come. The screen fades to black, leaving only that echo, hanging in the air long after the sound ends. What makes this trailer extraordinary isn't the action or the spectacle. It's the emotion. Every sound, every shadow feels intentional. It's not trying to impress. It's preparing the heart. It invites the viewer to remember. This story is not fiction. It's faith made visible. The cinematography itself feels divine. Warm golden tones fading into deep blues and grays. It's light and darkness playing side by side, reminding us that every miracle has a price. The editing mirrors Scripture itself. Slow, reflective, and reverent, then suddenly overwhelming. Time slows down. The music softens. The dust settles after the storm of emotions from the trailer. Fans across the world hold their breath, waiting, watching, praying for one line, one moment, one date. And then it appears on the screen, the words everyone has been waiting for. The Chosen Season 6. Coming soon. The announcement feels less like a release update and more like a promise. A promise that the journey isn't over, that there's still more to see, more to feel, more to believe. The creators haven't just built anticipation, they've built devotion. Each update from Angel Studios, each post from the cast, feels like a spark of hope that reminds us, it's almost here. While the exact day might vary depending on the platform or premiere schedule, the whispers are clear. Filming is wrapping up, editing is underway, and the stage is being set for a release that could arrive sooner than many expect. Fans predict it will drop between early to mid-2025, continuing its tradition of powerful, faith-filled storytelling. And if we've learned anything from The Chosen, it's that every delay has meaning. The team doesn't rush the sacred. They refine it. They polish every line, every moment, until it carries the weight of something eternal. Because for them, this isn't just another show. It's a mission, a chance to let faith reach the screen and the heart at the same time. In interviews, the cast and crew have hinted that Season 6 will be one of the most emotional seasons yet. Not just for the audience, but for them as well. The pressure is higher, the responsibility is greater, and yet the passion burns stronger than ever. The creators know that every fan waiting across the world, every person watching on their phone late at night, every family gathered in front of the TV, every believer seeking something real, they're all part of this moment. The release isn't just a date, it's a reunion, a reminder that light always returns, even after silence. And so, as the official trailer spreads across the internet and fans replay it over and over, one truth remains. The Chosen has never been about how fast it arrives. It's about how deeply it moves us when it does. When that release date finally drops, it won't just mark the start of a new season. It will mark the continuation of a story that refuses to fade. The story of grace, the story of redemption, the story that reminds us all that no matter how dark the night gets, the dawn always comes. Every story has a heartbeat, and for The Chosen, that heartbeat has always been faith, raw, unshaken, and alive. As we look toward Season 6, fans can expect a story that doesn't just continue, it transforms. This isn't just another chapter, it's the turning point, the moment when love is tested, faith is stretched, and the light faces its greatest shadow. The creators have promised that this season will bring us closer to the most emotional part of Jesus' journey, the days leading to the cross. But instead of rushing toward tragedy, the story will slow down and breathe. We'll see the human side of divinity, the quiet moments between miracles, the tears behind the faith. Expect scenes that will break your heart, but also heal it. We'll see Peter struggling to understand leadership, torn between courage and guilt. We'll see Mary's strength grow as the world begins to crumble around her. We'll see Judas, not just as a traitor, but as a man caught between greed and regret. And through it all, Jesus stands with a calmness that feels both painful and peaceful. A love that knows the price of redemption, but walks toward it anyway. The tone of Season 6 will be heavier. Yes, but it will also be more intimate. Every frame will draw you closer. The flicker of firelight on a weary face, the trembling hand that reaches for help, the silence that speaks louder than words. You'll feel the fear, the faith, the fire that burns inside each disciple. Visually, fans can expect breathtaking cinematography. The dusty roads of Galilee glowing in the morning light, the tension of crowded streets in Jerusalem, and the stillness of prayer under a moonlit sky. The music will once again stir the soul, mixing soft whispers with powerful crescendos that lift the spirit and break the heart at the same time. But perhaps the most powerful thing about this season won't be what we see. It will be what we feel. Because The Chosen doesn't just tell a story, it reminds us that we're part of it. It makes us ask ourselves, what would I do if I walked beside him? Would I have believed? Would I have stayed? Season 6 will challenge its audience to look deeper, not just into the screen, but into their own hearts. It will remind us that following Christ has never been about comfort. It's been about courage, about standing firm when everything else falls apart. And when the final episode ends, fans won't just be left waiting for Season 7. They'll be left reflecting. Because this season isn't just about watching history, it's about remembering why it matters. So what can we expect from The Chosen Season 6? We can expect tears. We can expect hope. We can expect to see love walk willingly into the storm. And we can expect that, once again, it will change us forever. The story began by the sea, with a voice calling out to ordinary people, asking them to follow. That same voice still calls today. It has crossed generations, languages, and screens, reaching hearts that never thought they'd believe again. The Chosen isn't just about what happened 2,000 years ago. It's about what's still happening inside each of us. As the journey moves toward Season 6, we're not just watching the end of a chapter. We're witnessing the beginning of understanding. The pain that's coming isn't just sorrow, it's sacred. Every tear, every silence, every farewell will carry meaning. Because through suffering, redemption is born. Through darkness, light finds its way back. The beauty of The Chosen is that it doesn't just tell the story of Jesus, it shows us what it means to live it. To love when it's hardest, to forgive when it hurts, to hope when it seems impossible. It reminds us that faith was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be real. For millions around the world, this series has become a mirror, showing us not perfect saints, but broken souls who chose to believe anyway. And that's why this story matters. It's not about angels descending or miracles appearing in flashes of light. It's about quiet strength, the kind that whispers, "Keep going. You are chosen too." When the credits roll on Season 6, fans won't just remember the miracles or the dialogues. They'll remember the feeling, the stillness that comes when you realize you've just witnessed something eternal, something that touches both the screen and the soul. And even when the season ends, the message will remain. Because The Chosen was never meant to end on a screen. It was meant to live on, in kindness, in faith, in the small, unseen moments where love chooses to act. So as we wait for the release, for that first scene, that first line, that first note of music, let's carry the story forward. Let's keep believing, keep feeling, keep remembering that this isn't just his story. It's ours too. The Chosen Season 6 is coming, but the truth it carries has already begun, because the story that changed the world will never end.